Alright, question 20. 20 says, write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form. They want slope-intercept form. If we go to the formula chart, slope-intercept form is the second one, y equals mx plus b. So that's the way they want it. They want it in y equals mx plus b. That passes through this point and has a slope of 9/2. Okay, so let's see. Point and slope form. We're going to use point and slope because they gave me a point and a slope. So we're going to use that y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. And we're going to substitute the points. So here I have x1, y1, and this is your m because that's your slope. So I'm going to have y minus, we're going to plug in right now in a little bit, m is 9/2, x minus, and then whatever x1. You need to put the minus signs because that's part of the equation. Now here my y1 is 2. Here my x1 is -4. You need to put that -4. You need to put that negative. That minus is part of the equation. And that negative is part of the number, so you need to put both. Now, what happens is when you have two negatives that are side by side like that, they become a positive. And we are almost done. We just need to do the distributive property. So we distribute this. So you have 9/2 x, 9/2 times 4. That's, you put this over 1 if you want. 9 times 4 is 36. 2 times 1 is 2. So 36 divided by 2 is 18. Or you could put also in the calculator 9/2 times 4 and you'll get 18. And then I have here y minus 2 equals that. Now we need to get rid of that minus 2. So we need to add 2 to both sides. Plus 2 plus 2. So y equals 9/2 x plus 20. And there's my answer. Let's go ahead and do another one. So you're used to it. Okay. Write an equation in slope-intercept form. Again, y equals mx plus b. That passes through this point and has a slope of that. They gave you point, slope, point, slope. So we're going to use point slope form. You'll be seeing that a lot. This is your x1, y1, and this is your slope m. So we're going to substitute it in. This is y minus whatever that is, m whatever that is, x minus. So m is -5. We're going to put -5 there. Your y1 is -2. You need to put that -2 because that minus is part of the equation. Then we have the -2. Same thing with x1. x1 is -4, so you need to put that -4. You need to put that minus sign. Now, what happens when you have a negative and a negative? They become a big positive. Now we do the distributive property. So we have -5 times x is -5x. -5 times +4 is -20. Here, again, two negatives in a row. They become a big plus sign, positive. Now we have this, y plus 2 equals -5x plus -20. We want y by itself, so we need to get rid of that +2 by subtracting 2. So now you have y equals -5x minus 22. Okay, let's go ahead and do one more because this one's a little bit unique. Okay, number 20. Write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form that passes through the point 5, -1 and has a slope of 0. A slope of 0. And there's my point. So let's go ahead and use the same thing. Point slope. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. This is my x1, y1, and this is my m, my slope. So I'm going to do y minus, we're going to substitute that in a little bit, m in a little bit, x minus, okay, your m is 0. My point is 5. My x1 is 5. And my y1 is -1, so I need to put that -1. Remember what I said. Now what happens here is that you have two negatives in a row. That becomes a big plus sign, positive. I convert them into a big positive. Here you have 0, and if you do distributive property, well, 0 times x is 0, 0 times 5 is 0, 0 minus 0 is 0 minus 0 is 0, so you just have y plus 1 equals 0, and then when you do -1 minus 1, y equals -1. So that's one way of doing that one. However, I want to show you another way, because sometimes this form may not work, especially if you have one that says undefined slope or no slope. So let's just go ahead and graph it and to see what it means. So here's my, I'm going to draw my little graph. My point is 5, -1. So I'm going to go here 5, -1. They want an equation of a line that goes through this point, but it has a slope of 0. And if it has a slope of 0, remember, if it's a horizontal line, because that forms the letter Z for 0. So we're going to do a horizontal line that goes through this point. And it's horizontal. Horizontal is y equals. Now this one is y equals, what's the number it crosses? -1. So this form would have been a lot easier if you just graphed it and then knew that 0 goes horizontal and the 0 horizontal is y equals. Or you could have done it this way as well. But remember, if it says no slope or undefined, you can't plug in anything there. So you would have to know that that would be x equals if it's undefined.